Welcome back. Few contests have drawn more interest than the race to be our state's next Attorney General. On the Democratic side, the prospect has drawn a former Galveston mayor and current Houstonian with a name most Texans equate with legal expertise and public service. This week I spoke one-on-one with Joe Jaworski.
What would the office of Attorney General look like with you at the helm?
It would be a lot more transparent. Greg, I think one of the things I remember most fondly about being mayor is being completely transparent and accessible. I know, the state of Texas of 30 million people is a lot bigger than Galveston, but I'd approach it the same way. You'd have an attorney general who's not embattled. I would gladly, quarterly, go to college campuses, law schools, and remind the youth who will inherit, society, that it is good to serve. And I would ask law students, give several years of your career to public service. I would recruit the best and the brightest to the Attorney General's office. That's number one. Number two, I would have talent first, mind you, but I would have a deputy council of men and women, white and of color, that would reflect the true face of Texas so that all feel like they have purchase, all have a buy-in. I think that's very important.
Is there a there, so to speak, with the cloud over Ken Paxton?
You need to remember, forget the indictment that's coming, forget the investigations. What about the whistleblower lawsuit? When his own handpicked conservative counselors and deputies turn the boss in at great risk to themselves, you have to know where there's smoke, there's fire. Also, you got to remember, we're not sitting as a criminal jury. So I certainly embrace the idea of innocent till proven guilty, but we're not sitting as a jury. We're voters, and we need someone who is beyond reproach. Let the FBI take their time on the investigation, but those workers, those deputies, those lawyers must have had their conscience shocked so repeatedly by what they viewed that they had no choice but to turn the boss in. That's enough for me.
The prospect of legalizing marijuana in the state of Texas. You've taken a position. Talk about it.
When we remove this wasteful, petty prosecution from the books, we fund the police, because we will save $300 million a year statewide so the police and prosecutors can fight real crime.
To get to a battle next November, you have to win a primary. Why are you the best Democrat to take on Paxton or whoever emerges from the Republican primary?
I've been a Texas lawyer for 30 years. I've worked for the judges. I've worked on the defense bar, the plaintiff's bar as a mediator. And neither of my colleagues can approach that number at all. Number two, I have served in local government as a city council member, mayor pro tem, and mayor. And Greg, I think one of the most important issues facing Texas today is supporting local decision-making authority. To me, it is not simply a concept. It's something I lived as mayor. So as Attorney General, I want to support the cities, the counties, the school districts, whether you're in a Republican city or a Democratic city. Let Brownsville be Brownsville. Let Abilene be Abilene. Let Dallas be Dallas.